What up? What up? What's going on? Rise and grind, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for coming on through for another edition of Boxing and Beyond in the AM with the homie Mainman, Mademan. Man, I really appreciate everybody that do get up early to catch the show. Thank you so much. Hit that thumbs up as y'all pull up. You already know. Good morning. Hopefully you done woke up, gave thanks for another beautiful day to go out there and be great. Another clean sheet of paper to correct any wrongs that you did yesterday. Guess what? You got a nice, bright, sunny day to go out there and make right for anything that went wrong in the past. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and be great, man. Be great. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you. You a superhero. You know what I mean? A superhero that ain't got no kryptonite. Real spill. When you walk out that door, you're going to be dealing with demons, arrows, all kinds of weapons formed against you. But guess what, man? Ain't none of them going to prosper. And you're going to come out on top. Just stay true to you and everything going to work itself out. Ain't that right? Salute everybody, man. Good morning. Good morning. So let's see what thoughts are we expanding on this morning. Let's see. I think I want to talk about a little music, man. You know, the reason I want to talk about this music, right? I had just seen this clip over on TikTok, and it was a clip of Smokey Robinson, man. Old Motown singer Smokey Robinson. Oh, man, Smokey looked like he was up in that joint, man, about to break his hips or something, man. He was up on that joint singing his old school songs. I don't care what they say about me. You know what I mean? Like, that's I was like, go ahead, Smokey. Smokey got to be all of what his 80s, 90s. I don't know, but he just looked old. But he was up on that stage, still getting down, man, performing. And I said to myself, I'm like, you know, in Smokey's case, man, it's hard to imagine that he's doing bad financially, that he has to still be on stage. I wanna stay in the mindset that the reason that Smokey Robinson is still performing is because he just loves it. You know what I mean? It could be one of them things where, you know how some people believe once they retire, that's when pretty much everything gonna come to an end, if you get where I'm going. And so maybe he just figured like, you know what? I don't want to sit around in a rocking chair in my mansion or whatever. You know, why don't I just get on stage, even if it's for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 people. Get on there and just sing some of my old school songs. You know what I mean? Give my gift to the world. And so maybe that's why I'm hoping that Smokey is still on the stage, still performing. Because, you know, at once upon a time, Smokey was the man. Not only just a singer for Motown, we all know that Smokey was like the president of Motown. He was a big time songwriter with Motown, a lot of songwriting credits. You know what I mean? So he's done very well. Not to mention Smokey was relevant through the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know about that one he did in the 90s. You know what I mean? When he was trying to, you know, I guess keep kids from dealing with drugs or whatever, man. Like that song he had came out with in the 90s, I was like, I see what you're trying to do there, Smokey, man, but it's just not hitting the same, you know what I mean? Hey, man, go back to that cruising vibe, bro. You know, that cruising vibe that's the Smokey that we love, you know what I mean? Cruising was meant for love. We need that dude, you know what I mean? Not the dude that's on here that did the anti-drug song, man. Not to say there was anything wrong with it. It wasn't. It just didn't feel like Smokey, you know what I mean? But anyway, Smokey's done well for himself for majority of his career. And it's kind of, you know, funny to see him on stage at this age. And it just reminds you, you know, how many of these artists, when they go through their entire careers, how most of them, believe it or not, by the time the end of their careers come, it's almost like boxing, you know, like we always talk about in the fight game, how like your favorite fighter, they come from nothing, right? They gain the world, they gain these riches. And then by the time their careers ending, they lost most of it. And then when they go into their retirement, well, they just back where they started, you know what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of cases end, believe it or not, in the music game, man. And it's like, yo, nowadays, I would think that more modern artists would learn from the past. Learn from some of their favorite, you know, inspirations growing up or whatever, and seeing how their careers went and learned from their mistakes. You know what I mean? First and foremost, I would think that if any artist is out here listening, the first thing that they will want to know about is publishing, because that's where the real money is, right? Publishing. You want to get into the publishing game, something we've talked about here on the channel many, many times. We know artists like Michael Jackson, artists like Sam Cooke, you know what I mean? Artists like Otis Redding, you know what I mean? These guys mastered the art of publishing, and some say that's the reason why they were all taken out for that reason as well. And a lot of artists was not in tune with publishing, and it didn't work out so well for them. You know, artists like Prince, artists like Elvis Presley, you know, artists like the Beatles. I mean, groups like the Beatles. You know, there was tons of artists who knew not much about the publishing game, and they end up getting screwing themselves out of a lot of ownership and screwing themselves out of a lot of, you know, money. You know what I mean? So you would think with today's artists, though, that they would learn it, because they don't want to be on stage, you know, in their 60s, 70s, 80s, unless you want to be on stage. But most people in that 20, they just want to sit back and enjoy your riches, enjoy your millions, right? You know, unless once again, you maybe like Smokey and you get bored and just say, you know what? No, I'd rather go on stage. And even if I get a couple old grandmas to come on up there and break their hip trying to do the twist or whatever, you know what I mean? That's cool with me. But yeah, man. So a lot of artists nowadays, you would think that they would learn from these things. Like publishing should be key in locking that down, because this music industry, man, I'm telling you, all of our favorite artists of the past, even artists of today, I mean, it just chews them up and spits them out, man. Wow, you know, but when it spits them out, it keeps all of the jewelry in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, man, this music industry is so freaking evil. Even the ones that do make it out okay, in one way or another, they may have some sort of mental issue going on. You know what I mean? They may have developed some sort of personality trait that's not healthy for them in their retirement, because, you know, dealing with all of the anxiety and the pressure and stuff like that. It's like, you know, when we were all kids, we all wanted to do, you know, grow up and probably be our favorite singer at one time or another. I ask you, in your adult life, do you still want to be in the music business? I mean, it's like, dog, I don't know, man. I mean, my thing is, if you're going to be an artist today, or from any time, to be honest with you, but if you're going to be an artist, you just got to be ready for when they come after you, especially if you somebody that's like positive and inspiring people in a positive way. One way or another, this industry is going to come after you and get you up out of position, you know? And so you got to be expecting that. Like, if you do very, very well, and yeah, you might be rubbing shoulders with all of the execs, you know, and all of the suits or whatever like that. My thing is, there's going to come a day that those same suits and execs going to be on the other side of the aisle from you, man. You just better hope that it's not in a courtroom. You feel me? It's like, no matter who you know, who you're cool with, how much money you make the industry, in the end, it's like they don't want you owning nothing. They want to have all of your anything that you created, they want to have full ownership of. It's funny when you look at like these execs like Clive Davis or whatnot, and they walk around with these chips on their shoulders like they're these big music people. Oh, I've discovered this person. And you would think that the way that they talk and act, like they were the ones singing, like they were the ones on stage. They were the ones writing those songs. They were the ones composing those songs and playing all the instruments and stuff. They don't do They don't do nothing. You know what I mean? To all of my fight fans out there, it's like a promoter. It's like a promoter, right? Nowadays, these fighters got to sell themselves on social media, right? They got to get on TV or kick up dust or make some sort of viral moment happen in order to sell their ticket. These promoters don't sell nothing for them no more. The only one that do something is Eddie Hearn. The rest of them barely even promote. You know, but they reap all of the benefits if that said fighter is very, very successful. And it's like the same way in the music game, bro. It's like these execs, man. I be looking at some of these cats and I just be like, yo, y'all ain't shit. Y'all technically ain't shit. And with the internet out today, man, I mean, until the music industry started to put certain kind of rules on the internet, which I kind of understand that, because nowadays anybody can make a song just in the comfort of your own home, in the comfort of your bedroom, whatever. You know what I mean? You got a computer, you got a mic, you got a little bit of software, you can make a song, you know? So I guess you can't have a situation where everyone's making songs, because you're going to have a lot of crap music out there, right? So I understand them kind of sort of adopting certain rules for the internet. I do. But, man, I'm going to tell you, man, I'm gonna tell you, man. It's like their whole mission is to make you successful or try to enable you to be successful, get all of the riches, and then try their best to get it up off you. I'm looking at this situation with Drake, right? Drake, the rapper, man. And I like Drake, man. I do. You know, man. Everybody always asks me, man, you like Drake or you like Kendrick? I'm a Drake guy. You know what I'm saying? I think Drake just make 20 times better music. But I think that the industry is trying to replace him with a Kendrick. Now, Kendrick got to watch out because Kendrick is a positive kind of dude and he talks a lot of empowerment kind of talk. How much longer do you think that the industry is going to sit around and let you do that? Riddle me that. Look what happened to Kanye. I remember when Kanye first started, man, he was out here with the chill brother type vibe, you know what I mean? Kind of indie soul type of vibe when he first came out, you know what I'm saying? Wearing pea coats, just a regular cool little brother, but then, making songs like Jesus Walks and all of that stuff, but that had to quickly go away fast, didn't it? Because they would have got Kanye up out of here and he knew it. Next thing you know, you got Kanye on album covers sitting on a throne with a dark hand sitting right next beside him like he's sitting next to the devil. I mean, he's starting to play all kind of imagery that he wasn't doing at the beginning of his career. Well, I mean, why do you think he started to do that? Because that created the longevity that he needed. Staying positive, they would have got his ass up out of there. Whatever happened to Arrested Development? Whatever happened to that? You know what I mean? Having that positive side of music and being just as prominent as the negative side of music. Whatever happened to that? But anyway, back to this Drake thing, man. It's like Drake is now going back and forth with Universal Music Group, UMG, and they're pretty much the parent company to all parent companies. And it's like, maybe Drake, I look at Drake and I say to myself, I think that brother is fighting to not be, what's the word? Not be, I don't want to say canceled, but to not be rejected to a certain degree. Like he probably know that the music industry is looking at him like, bro, your time is pretty much coming up. Like we've got all of the money out. You've made us a lot of money. You've had a string of hits, all of that's great, but you're getting older and you're not being able to, maybe be with the same demographic that we need. We want to captivate them young. You're getting a bit older, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. You've been winning for so long, but it's time to kind of take you up off that perch. And maybe, just maybe, Drake is fighting back. Now, I know y'all might say, nah, man, Kendrick just crushed him with the diss record or whatnot. But I look at it as like, this is like Drake fighting back because he don't want to be taken out for all that he's achieved thus far. It's a good thing that he got a cool team behind him, being with Cash Money, Young Money at one time, and also, aligned with Jay Prince, you know what I'm saying? So that's all good stuff. But yeah, man, I mean, every artist, especially in the rap game where you don't see rappers lasting nearly as long as, say, a Drake does, So it's probably like, yo, your time is up, you know what I'm saying? And so he's probably gonna have to fight that on back, man. I told you, that's what I believe that happened to my man, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, it's not so much that it was that his time was up. I will say that. But the worst thing about, the thing about Michael was they couldn't get him. And that's what made it tough. When they figured his time was supposedly up towards the end of the 80s, like they couldn't get him because he didn't have debts. He wasn't in debt. He didn't have scandals. He didn't have a ton of lawyer fees. He had none of that stuff. And so it's like, yeah, we can't get him. You know what I mean? We can't really get him the way we want to. Y'all got to understand, man, that Michael signed like a major deal in like 1990 with Sony, a big time deal. And it's like, yo, why would they give him a deal that large? Now don't get me wrong. Michael was large. Michael was definitely large, but it's like, bro, it's like they gave him a deal big enough and long enough to keep him on stage long enough to eventually get that money back, recoup that back one way or another and break him and then take the value off him. But they had to get him in debt first. And the value was A, his music, but B, the music that he owned, which we all know what that was that catalog. And so it's like, man, they gave him this big, super duper deal. You know what I'm saying? And all of this stuff, man. And it's like just to keep him on stage. Michael was ready to walk off of the stage at that time. He was ready to go into movies. He was talking with Steven Spielberg about different projects. Remember, he did the Captain EO thing. And it was like that was the direction he was going. And the music industry said, oh my goodness, we're about to lose him, Michael. And we haven't even taken the value off him that we need to. We have to keep him there. You see? That's how it goes, man. And I'm telling you, man, some of our favorite singers of the past, of the present, they have all kind of gone through this ringer. Like, no matter how successful you were. I mean, look how Whitney ended. Whitney was so great, but look how she ended, man. Look how she ended. Even Prince to a certain degree, you know what I mean? Prince, well, people don't know Prince was hooked on prescription pills towards the end of his career. Prince on pills? They say it was because of all of the pain in his body and so on and so forth. But like, damn, dog, Prince on pills. No one would have never, ever thought it. Never thought it. That's what that industry does to you, man. You either, if you don't get broken or taken for all of your value by the end of that artist's career, then in their heads, they're messed up. Or in their bodies, they've abused it so much, they're messed up. So I have to ask you once again, ladies and gentlemen, do you still aspire to be a part of this industry? I used to want it bad, man. Y'all seen some of the music that I even did around the channel. Y'all can go check the playlist. Is still here on the channel. You can come and check some of my raps that I, done. You know what I'm saying? And look, I used to want it. I used to want to be in it, and I even had a foot in it. You know what I mean? And it's like, dog, the little bit I've seen, I was just like, damn, it's treacherous. It's a treacherous industry. A lot of sharks, a lot of lies and liars, a lot of scammers, a lot of con men, a lot of empty promises. I mean, you go through all of that. All of that. And hell, that's even before you even have a hit record. I mean, our favorite artists, they get hooked on drugs, man. They turn into alcoholics. I mean, it's just a crazy industry, man. And you can easily lose yourself, get caught up real easily. We seen some of our absolute favorite artists, man, go through this, and they all fell short. Real talk, man. So I just look at this industry, man, and I say, man, it's sad. And just think, man, and I talk about this on the channel all the time. The industry is now going towards a place where I believe that the singer, the songwriter, they're going to be obsolete. AI is about to take that job. I'm telling y'all what it is. They're going to start first by taking the likeness of your favorite stars, whether they're singers, dancers, actors, right? Movies. They're going to start taking the likeness first. They're going to force these entertainers to sign over their rights to their images and their likeness, and they're going to turn around, let AI do the work, and put them in, make songs using the likeness of this artist, or make movies using the likeness. You already see that now. Start using the likeness of this artist, holograms. I can see concerts with some of our favorite artists in the past. They tried it with Michael Jackson. Remember they did that Michael Jackson hologram? It was awful. It was terrible. Man, but when they did the one with the Tupac, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't as bad as the Michael one. But, they tried it. They was already kind of experimenting with it to see how people would feel about it. And I think we're going to get there, man. I think they're going all of these, the likenesses, the images to your favorite stars, they're going to be all AI generated images and videos. I'm telling you, dog. I'm telling you, man. And when that happens, then the entertainer is going to be out of a lot of money. The second that this industry can get these artists and entertainers to sign their images over, Lord, let me tell you another secret about Michael Jackson. People don't know this, but Michael Jackson had his image copyrighted. So you can't use his image. I remember when this was a big deal right not long after he passed, and how his estate was, selling his image out to so many different entities, something that Michael would have probably never did when he was alive. And I remember, because I'm a frequent to the casino, man, you'll go in the casino, you got Michael Jackson slot machines, I mean, all kind of Michael Jackson stuff, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that he probably wouldn't have okayed. So Michael was on top of his game, not only in the publishing, but he was on top of his game with his image. And you can't, even to this day, you can't really use a picture of Michael Jackson and make no money off it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do it. You will get hit with a copyright infringement by just using his image. Talk about way ahead of the game, huh? Way ahead of the game. And now these entertainers are in a position where this industry is going to ask them to fork over the rights to their image. And when they get it, they don't need you. They got something that looks like you, something that talks like you. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. What a evil business that thing is, right? Yeah, music business is something, man. It really is something, man. And so I sit back and I say to myself, man, shit, bro. I remember Tupac used to have this line, man, all I want is money. After fame, I'm a simple man. I know that's right, bro. The fame of it is the worst side of it, believe it or not. Everybody wants it until they got it. And then when they get it, they want to get rid of it. They just want to have the money and peace. You can have all of this fame. I don't need people looking at me like I'm a fish in the fishbowl 24/7. Every little move I make, every little word I say, it gets old after a while. In the beginning, it may be a bit flattering, but over time, it will get old. And so it's just like, damn, man. You know what I'm saying? Damn. And then, like, what if you one of those entertainers who just like forced to be on stage just to try to make ends meet? You know what I mean? That's how Michael kind of ended in the end. Like with the This Is It tour, like he was just trying to make ends meet, man. He just wanted to retire in peace for all of the hard work that he's done. And towards the end, he was pretty much almost left with nothing. And so that tour was going to put a couple dollars in his pocket to at least let him and his kids live off in peace. You know what I'm saying? In the end. And that's a sad thing to have to really be on stage just to try your best to make ends meet. And that's what I'm hoping that Smokey didn't do. You know what I mean? Some artists, I think when they like I said earlier about Smokey, they just age and they just want to keep entertaining. You take a Stevie Wonder. I know that Stevie Wonder financially can't be hurt, but I just seen Stevie Wonder not long ago. You know what I'm saying? He's still performing. Yeah, ain't no telling how Stevie in his 70s or something like that, maybe even older. Just seen Janet Jackson not too long ago. She about to hit 60. But Janet don't need no money. She just had a kid by a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? So I would think that Janet's only really reason for doing it is to one last good hurrah before it's all said and done. She don't have to be on stage. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of artists that do. I went and seen Anita Baker not long ago. She didn't have to be on stage. Anita Baker is very paid. She even told that story at the concert. She said, hey, I didn't really need to come back, but everyone was just kind of tugging on me like, hey, you still have an audience out there. You still got people that want to hear you and see you. So why not? And so she said she was retired on vacation, living comfortably, and just decided, hey, you know what? If there's people out there that still want to hear me, then why not just get on the stage? You know what I mean? In those cases, it's cool. You're doing it as more so leisure. You're not doing it as being dependent upon it financially or whatnot. You know what I mean? It's even worse if you're an artist like, say, like Lauryn Hill, where Lauryn Hill can't sing her old songs the way that they were made, written, and composed. She has to now sing them, but with different beats and at different tempos just to prevent her from being sued. And so she can't even perform the music that she loves the most the way it was in its inception. She can't even perform it that way, bro. That's got to be a bit torture. That's probably one of the things that kept her from really, embracing the limelight again, because it's like, yo, I can't, even perform my own music. This industry's so bad. Everybody got lawyers on the sidelines ready to go if she sing a certain kind of song a certain kind of way. That's messed up, man. Messed up. I do hope Lauren one day though come out with a new album though, man. I mean, look, even if she's going to do it in her new style way, because I actually dig it. I like the new Lauryn Hill, man. A lot of people don't like the new Lauryn Hill, but I do. I actually think she's cool. She's more spiritually in tune, and the things that she sings about and talks about, trust and believe. If you know, you can relate, and I like it. And the Lord knows that's an avenue that's just waiting to be explored. And hear me clear, entertainers. We got gospel music, you know what I'm saying? Every pretty much religious community got their own version of music. But the spiritual community is growing beyond belief. And there needs to be some musicians or singers on the forefront of the spiritual movement. I think I elect Lauryn Hill to be the president. You know what I'm saying? Real spill, man. But that's a new genre. I think that's just waiting to be kicked wide open. And I think it will be, to be honest with you. And I think this is what also causes the rise of a lot of African music, and as well as Latin music on the rise now. Because if you listen, let me tell you something, bro. It is to some real cool African music, man. That shit is extremely peaceful, especially if they doing like African chants and playing the music, the African instruments and everything, and they doing it in a smooth, jazzy way. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm telling you, bro, that it's soothing to the soul, man. It really is. It really is. Reggae is soothing to the soul. I love reggae, man. Reggae is soothing to the soul, bro. Bob Marley, one of my favorite artists of all time. Big Bob Marley fan, man. But these genres of music, I think, are going to be pushed back so hard. And I'm telling you, man, there's a void there for the leader of spiritual music. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it's somebody that's out there I just don't know about as of yet. But from what I've seen in the mainstream, I just don't see nobody kind of going down that road just yet. I see, like I said, I hear Lauryn Hill, but she's one of few. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, man. But if you're that kind of artist where you can't even perform your own music the way it was made, all because, you know, the rules of the industry, or the industry is looking for one way to pay Rob Peter, to pay Paul, take the money off you, take the value off you. Listen, in Lauryn Hill's case, the biggest piece of value that she had was that miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And Lord knows she was sued left and right, even by close friends, over that particular album. It reminds me of another singer named Alanis Morissette. You know what I'm saying? I love me some Alanis Morissette, man. I'm really disappointed I didn't get a chance to see her last year. I'm trying to catch her this year. But I'm a huge fan of Alanis Morissette. And Alanis Morissette has this like legendary album called Jagged Little Pill. And it's crazy because people don't know she was sued like crazy over that by the producer of the album. You know what I'm saying? Like, she got into a big old thing over that Jagged Little Pill. And that was I'm telling you, that was a badass. I like the studio version and the acoustic version. And Lord knows, you know what I mean? But yeah, she got sued like crazy. And that's her number one thing of value. Sued crazy over that album. And it's like, man, I feel bad for those kind of artists who do make masterpieces and they can't even perform the freaking music. It's not like in Prince's case, right? Well, Prince, he has a masterpiece, but he just refused to play that music because he wanted everybody to hear his new music. You know what I'm saying? Prince was on some, man, like, I'm not doing Let's Go Crazy and Darling Nikki and Purple Rain and you know what I mean, 1999. I'm not doing those songs, man. Nah, y'all need to listen to this one right here. Girl 6. Be like, Prince, man, bro, if you don't whip out the damn purple guitar, you know what I'm saying? If you don't kick a little Purple Rain up in this jump, man, come on, bro. They say to this day that Prince still has the best halftime show of all time. You know what I mean? I think it's close between him and Michael. I thought Michael's was badass. I think it's real close between him and Michael. But I will say this though. No one has sung the Star Spangled Banner. You only got two artists that stand out for me. I don't know about y'all. Whitney's, which I think Whitney's version is number one, numero uno, the absolute best version of the Star Spangled Banner. And then of course you got Marvin Gaye's. Marvin Gaye's is so good because he changed the whole feel of the song, up-tempoed it a little bit, changed the whole feel of it. And then of course you got Ray Charles. Oh, and Ray did it in a soulful, like gospel way. Ray's coming in the third for me. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's Whitney, Marvin, then Ray. You know what I mean? Putting their own twist on those songs. You know what I mean? I don't know where that thought came from, but it came out of left field and I just wanted to get it on out there. You know what I mean? But salute, man. But this music industry is just something, man. Like all of our favorite artists, man. There's so many artists that you would have thought that would have like ended up so successfully. And then there's so many artists that you think are so successful, but they ain't really doing so well. You know what I mean? it's just, it's like, wow, man. So now as an older adult grown ass man, I sit back and I ask myself, did you really, what would you have really been if I would have took music to the next level, like a lot of people around me wanted me to do? If I would have took it to the next level, where would I have ended up? Would I have ended up rich, happy, sitting in the backyard pool, floating with 10 models around me, you know what I'm saying, with money guns, shooting money all up in the air and bubbles and shit all over the place, having a time of my life? Or would I have ended up as some dang drug addict or something, strung out in rehab? Like you see cats when they you know, the Mega Millions and the Powerball, you know what I mean? There's a lot of folks that when they get that money, they hurt themselves. They become worse versions of themselves than they were before the money. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know. You just don't know. I'm a strong-minded dude. And it's hard for negative influences to really influence me. I'm really strong in those type of things. I don't look for validation. I don't look to please crowds. If you don't like my answers, oh well, that's your problem. I'm that kind of person. So I know for me, I would have probably been moving just with my circle, close knit circle, and anybody else's words would have just been like taken with grains of salt. That's how I would have been. I wouldn't have trusted nobody in that damn industry. Hey, Mainman, come on over here. Walk with me. Talk with me. Let's talk about some things. Let's get some money in your pocket, huh? Man, I told, man, get the hell out of here. I'd have smooched their asses halfway down the hallway. Real spill. But you never know. You never, ever know. Just think. In Whitney's case, she started out singing in church choirs. Church choir. She was in the church. Her mama was a big-time gospel singer, right? The niece of Dionne Warwick. And look how she ended up. Who would have thought? The girl from the church choir with the big voice would have ended up the way that she did, all because she walked through that nasty, dirty, filthy, evil industry. So riddle me this again. Do you want to be part of that industry? Y'all going out there and have a great day, man. Thanks for everybody that sat through this edition of Boxing and Beyond. We got to get more boxing, talking to this Boxing and Beyond in the morning. So my word on that, man. Next episode of Boxing and Beyond in the AM, I'll definitely include more boxing talk, man. I'm going to start balancing that out a little bit more better. You know what I mean? We'll do other topics, of course, but definitely got to squeeze more boxing talk into this, you know what I mean? So we'll just leave it at this one for right now. And I just want to say thank y'all, man. Thanks for everyone that does support this show, and thanks for everyone that come on through, and especially for those who hit that thumbs up for the homie. Y'all go out there and be great. Don't let no supervisors, don't let no co-workers, don't let no family members, nobody get to you. This is your day. Go out there and feel good. Feel like the superhero that you are. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and save the world. And when you do save the world, come on back and let me and the fam know, what did you do to save the world for the better? Have a blessed day, y'all. And I see y'all tomorrow. To the next one, man. Peace out. Waking up, waking up, waking up. Waking up, waking up, waking up.